Afternoon. We Sunday the 2nd of February, and it's proper hot. I might think my ute's been parked in the shed, but it's telling me it's 42 here at the moment. Yeah, got hotter as the day's gone on. So moved the recycle pump over to the other farm this morning early. Did a couple of other jobs, and then been in town. There's a I don't know what you call it, WebEx golf tournament or something on in at local golf club. So just been in there giving a hand through the football club. So standing in the shade spotting golf balls. So that's consumed 3 or 4 hours. So that was yesterday and today. The pivot on the corn's finished. Probably should keep it going, but I'm actually just coming up to check the hours on the pivot on the dam motor. I'll probably just see if it's close to oil change. I'll change the oil quickly, and then start the pivot on the loose. And going to be a pretty hot week, so probably should keep that irrigator going on the corn, but I just want to get a bit on the loosen as well. So if we can try and get the sort of one half done, and then we can get it going back again. They're talking 41 tomorrow, 41 Tuesday, 38 Wednesday, and then 40 for Thursday, Friday. So she's a proper hot one. Anyway, that's all right. Scanning in the morning, so I'm going to run the ewes in. They're all here camping in the shade, so I'll run them in about 8 o'clock or 8:30, just before dark. Don't want to upset them too much at the moment while it's hot. Joe will be here about 6:30 in the morning, I think, so I reckon there's about 900 to do, so a couple of hours he'll have them done. He doesn't muck around, gets them done pretty quickly, so that'll be good. What else? What's going on here? There's a motor here running that hasn't shut off. It's a good way to break stuff. I don't know why it hasn't done that. It hasn't. The Nelson valve, it's shut off out in the middle, but the pressure hasn't come up to. I might just take the pressure off that. I don't know what's happened there. The Murphy valve hasn't shut this engine off. It was right on high pressure, but it hasn't flicked it off. There's always something. So I went with the monitor, like the ag sense. I can't actually tell whether this is still running. The pivot out in the middle had stopped. I'm pretty sure it had stopped. There was no water coming at the end of it, so, but yeah, it hasn't actually turned that off. So what I came up here to check was the hours. So it'll do another 50 hours before it needs the oil changed. I'm not drinking beer at the moment, but I should be. Dry January. How do you reckon that's working out for me? There was a fair conversation about pivots and that sort of stuff on the last video about irrigation layouts and that sort of stuff. Like anything mechanical, when it's working well, it works well. When it's not working well, it can be a real headache. Anyway, so I'll grab the nozzles off this irrigator now and chuck them on the other one. I'm just going to duck over and chuck some fuel in the recycle pump over the other farm and possibly change the water over there. And then, yeah, come back and start this thing again. So, we are getting pretty low on fuel. I'm waiting for fuel. Hopefully we get fuel tomorrow, so we may run out of fuel in this thing tonight. I haven't dipped it, but I'm suspecting we'll be getting pretty low. Yeah, anyway, get in there, get these nozzles and get over and get this other pump fueled up. Just back here, so just starting the pivot now. It'll be really good times like this where we'd be able to run both pivots at once, but we just don't have the pump capacity. I'm not too sure what would actually happen if you opened, started both of them, whether you'd have half the water application, whether it just means you'd have to slow the pivots down to compensate. Don't know. Anyway, it looks all right. It's holding on. It's a bit dry here on the outside edge, probably where it's not getting a lot of water anyway. But it is the hottest part of the day. It is 40 degrees here now, so we'll run this round tonight and just see how far it gets. Yeah, it is what it is, but we'll give it, I think I mentioned those ewes have got to come in, so we'll give it till 8 o'clock, or I think it's sort of took note last night, it's getting dark about 9, so it'll only take half an hour to run them in, so it's about, I don't know what it is, 6 or something now. Yeah, bang on 6 o'clock, so we'll give it an hour and a half or something. I'll get the sprinklers going in the yards, and then I'll, run them in then when it's a bit cooler, but it's, temperature's up, it's going to be a hot few days, so just got water coming out of the irrigator there now. So we'll get this pump up to speed. Don't know what happened there, why that hasn't triggered that to shut down. I don't know how long it's been running like that. Not too sure what's going on there, but anyway, I've been home. I got home and just chilled out for a bit, had a coffee, and I'm one of those weirdos that drinks coffee on when it's 40 degrees, so don't judge me. Anyway, so I'd been home for an hour just chilling out, and came up here and the engine's running, so anyway, it'd be good to put some sort of telemetry on here so you knew that it was actually still running. So anywho, we'll rev her up in a minute. Just before 8:30, so there's a bit of a bank of cloud coming across to the northwest there, so we'll just see how that one plays out. It has cooled down a bit, it is reasonably warm still though. And as you can see, pretty dry and dusty. Anyway, we won't push them, just get them in there quietly. The dust ain't getting any better. Anyway, we're far from the yards now, so we'll get them in before it gets dark. And a few of them decided they were going to jump through an irrigation channel full of water, so for whatever reason, anyway, they can be a bit silly when they want to. So they'll dry out soon enough. There's about 900 here in this mob. Effectively all our old ewes are together, so and then we'll split them up dry, so aren't pregnant at all, and then twins and singles. Still got these couple of rat bags at the back here that for some reason have got a lamb. Anyway, a lamb's a lamb. Steady on! Sit down, sit. Dusty. Alright, all in. Just. So there's plenty of room, but yeah, took a bit of getting in. It's pretty humid now, so yeah, I might just free a few of those pens up the top there. Yeah, and that'll about do today. Morning, still pretty warm. I think it'll be 27 or 8 degrees and it's only up past 6. So anyway, Joe's here, so we're set up. So hopefully we can get a bit of footage of what's going on. Scanning all done, so I'll just see whether we get Joe back to do the young ewes later on, or we just, it's probably not a heap of point in doing that because I generally give them 2 years to get into lamb anyway. So out of what we did, we scanned 869, we got 474 with twins on board, 325 with singles and 70 that are empty. So we've come out at a scanning of 146%. So I think I worked it out roughly. It's about 13, a bit over 1300 or 1320 or something lambs on board off. There'll be basically 800 ewes. So yeah, pretty good, really good result, probably our best result. What's probably helped, and just talking to Joe about it, is we didn't scan any young ewes in this one, so other years we've probably had, at least 400 young ewes, so all sort of older sheep, which has helped the joining rate. And also we've probably, our ram percentage is probably at 3% rather than 2%, so that's last year I think we were 136, so we've picked up another 10%. So for an extra, couple of rams, we're getting our money back pretty comfortably. So yeah, we might just look at that going forward. That we have a higher percentage of rams to use. He also reckoned most of them have joined on their first cycle, so which is good. So we'll have, hopefully have an nice even run of lambs that are sort of, all born within a couple of weeks of one another, which obviously helps at the other end when we're selling them, because they're, you're not waiting for late ones to grow out and that sort of stuff. So, and that was the case last year too. That probably had a little bit to do with why we were able to get sort of all our lambs off before Christmas. So hopefully the young ewes should join up pretty well. Like, we put all 28 rams that we had left in with the 400 ewes. So yeah, if they were ready to take the ram, they should be in lambs. So yeah, so we've had fuel delivered. We were getting a bit light on fuel. My ute, the fuel light was on, and Tony's ute, the fuel light was on. So it should have been, I ordered it last week, and it probably should have been ordered a bit earlier, but anyway, I was waiting for the pivot to stop and being out of fuel. But yeah, so Mannix bulk fuel. If you're looking for fuel in around our area, give the man a call. Cheapest fuel, and it's good fuel. Yeah, just a young bloke, one man show. Yeah, no, he's good. So yeah, he's just been. So I've just come over to top this recycle pump up. We're getting down in the dam a bit, which is good. And yeah, so this water will finish. I think I'll back it off tonight, just to 2 megs. 2 megs, 6 megs. So we've got 8 coming now. And yeah, then we won't have to worry about the pump overnight, and it'll just finish in the morning. There'll sort of be 2 bays to water come dark, and I don't reckon there'll be enough water here to pump the 2 of them. So, and yeah, it would mean I'd have to come over at midnight or something and fuel the pump up. So, yeah, day is warming up. It was quite nice under the shed doing the ewes. We were finished by, I think he started up R6. I think he was finished a bit after 8 o'clock. So to do the nearly 900. So, yeah. He punches them through, as you saw on the video, they run through pretty well. So, yeah, but anyway, the winds got up, and the boys will probably work till 1 or 2 o'clock, and Brendan's just hopped back on the bucket, and yeah, Tony was just taking some fuel over to him, and going to go out and check a couple of things out check the stock out the other farms. So I'm going to do this, and then I need to go back and send a couple of emails and make a couple of phone calls, just follow a bit of stuff up, just with this bank stuff, as I mentioned on the last one. Yeah, and also chase up some parts for the air seeder. That's at a bit of a standstill, and we're going to turn around twice, and we're going to want the bloody thing, so I need to get into it. Afternoon. So we've jumped forward a little bit. We've got the metering units off the air seeder. I've given them a wash, and Tony's actually, I had to go to, Sarah and I went to Shepparton this morning, so he had an appointment, so we went down to that and not long got back. So Tony's actually got the bin out of the air cart, so he's had a good morning. I've got the new points and that here for the old truck, so I'm going to try and get it going and get it out of the weather. So those of you that asked a little bit about it, so originally it was, I think all that was about left was the chassis and the cabin. It had been parked under a tree, as a lot of old gear sort of gets. And yeah, so I think they sourced all other bits and pieces and that sort of stuff. The tray does needs a sand and a re-lacquering, but yeah, it's all pretty neat and tidy. The engine's been completely rebuilt. The inside's a bit dusty, but there's some carpet there for the floor and that. So all the old original gauges. So yeah, they did a good job with it. So we really probably need to get it registered and take it to shows and local shows and that sort of stuff to show it off, because it is pretty nifty bit of history. So anyway, we've got a new set of points here. I'm hoping that's going to fix our problem. I don't know a hell of a lot about this sort of stuff, but we'll feel our way and hopefully we can get it. There are a few storms floating around. So yeah, you can actually see it is actually raining out there. So we'll just see if we could. When we were coming home, when we left Shepparton, it was 33 on the car, and we came through some rain. It dropped back to 26. By the time we got back to Cobram, it was 33 again. So, but yeah, it's a bit more pleasurable today than what it's been the last few days. It's been pretty hot. Come on, baby. another go. We're getting closer, so I've had to phone a few people, but we didn't have power at the points. So I've set the gap on the points to 10 thou. Any of you older generation that have had a bit of experience with distributors. But what we found, we didn't have power there once we got it set up. I rang my uncle and he said, oh, just flick them and you should get a spark. Well, we didn't have a spark, so what actually happened is the wire had come off the back of the that sends the power to the distributor. So that's probably been the issue all along. But the points were burnt, so a new set won't hurt it. But we're sort of coughing, but we're not really just yet. So. We're not even coughing. Just doesn't want to go. Righto. No good. I've waved the white flag today, so we'll have another crack at that at some other stage. So we've got Tony got the bin out for us. So it's only held in by 4 bolts. So once we got the sort of, we just had the hydraulic cooler at the back there that he sort of didn't break any hoses, but yeah, got it, unbolted it, and got it off. So. It's just sort of hanging there, all chained up there. It's probably wants washing out too, looking at that. So what I'll do is, I'll just show you what we're dealing with. Put that across there. You can see the gap under there is how much it's bent. It's probably around here where the auger side, we'll get away from the auger and you can really see the bow in it. It's given it a fair shunt because it's pushed it back there. So what I'm going to do is I'll get these leads and hoses out, feed them out. There is a wiring loom there that we don't use anymore, so it can come out all together, and there are some brains there from the old system. The new isobus stuff's there, so we'll might get it out and get it out of the road altogether. So I'll just pull the wiring back to here somewhere so it's away from the heat, and then we'll jack it up and get it up under get it level, get it some trestles under it. I might just weld a couple of bits across it, just because when I cut that out it'll probably spring. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So through there and through there to get that off. But as I think I said earlier, I'll cut that off first, get rid of that, get rid of the front half of it, and then just rebuild it from there forward. I'm hoping I can use some of that. Still, we'll shorten this up is the plan. We'll bring it back to here somewhere and get rid of all that, reclaim that, get rid of these. Yeah, new tyre on the other side. Bit of paint, and she's be back like I bought one. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, we'll get there. A couple of days. Just spoke to parts man at O'Connor's where I'm getting the bits for this the bits for the air seeder. So we can get the pins, we can get one lot of bushes, but the other lot of bushes are on order. And they're the main bushes. So I've got enough to do, I don't know, 18 tines. But there's no point, if we can't get bushes, there's no point pulling it down, pulling it to bits. So we might be able to replace those ones. But yeah, there's no point. You've got to essentially pull the whole assembly apart to put new bushes and pins in it. So if I can't get bushes, we ain't doing it. So we might be able to do those back ones, the older tines. So because we made that air seeder bigger, it's got I don't know, I can't remember now, there's about a dozen tines on it, the newer style of tine. Yeah, just how they've got the bushes set up on them. So we can do the older ones, but we might have to just leave the new ones. So anyway, we'll just suck it and see how it goes. But anyway, I'll get to and start and pull some of this stuff off, and yeah, get it somewhere near cutting the front of it off. Warming up, or it has warmed up. It's pretty humid too, which isn't helping. Bit of juice coming out of me. So they come out without anyone getting squashed, which was good. I've got it pretty level. She's between the lines, the bubble, so that's all that matters. The trestles are a bit different heights, so it wasn't helping me. So yeah, we'll get these off. I've got to cut. There's a fair bit of cutting and buggerising around to do, so I'll have to yeah, I've got to cut all that out and get that stub out. She ain't gonna be pretty, but anyway, we'll get there. And then yeah, I'll probably leave that plate there, I think, just to give us a bit more surface area with what we want to do. Yeah, and then I'm half thinking, just so we can handle the damn thing, whether we just roughly cut it off here with the gas. Oh, it doesn't have to be rough, we could do it. We'd cut it off with the gas, but yeah, just do it so it was straight. The other option we could do is just cut it off here, just support it with the telehandler, and then get it down on the ground and get that pin out, because it kept coming out, so Josh has had a fair old crack at welding it in. Of course, now we want to get it out. Anyway, we'll get there. So yeah, it's just got to chip away at it. Probably once we get it stripped back and cut off and all the rest of it, probably won't take that long to put it back together. I do, as I mentioned, I need to go up and have a look at this other air cart the neighbours have got with the steerable front axle. So effectively, we're going to, if you haven't watched, I'm going to use that, but I'm going to put a triangle. That won't be there. I'm going to use this axle the way it is, and we'll just box the triangle in. Effectively what we did there with that strap, but probably a bit deeper, just and make it a big triangle to give it more strength. And then we'll get it back. I'll take a few measurements, but I'll get it back closer to the cart, just to help with the weight, because it does have, like when you look at it there, it is out a bloody long way. We probably should have cut that off and brought it in closer, but anyway. It's too late now. So, and then it'll be effectively, I'm just going to make up a couple of that stub axle. I'll just weld a couple of plates on top and bottom that will slide over there, and then we'll bring some linkages back to the centre here, and it'll just be, they'll be tied together, the wheels, so it'll just be, it'll just be like a normal steering axle. Yeah, which is pretty common on the bigger carts. So yeah, again, I don't know what's going on with this air seeder. We will we will do some of the bushes and some of the pins, potentially what we can. These pins, they're a hard thing, obviously. They're heat treated, they've got a thread in them each end, $49 for one of them. Seems a bit redonkulous to me. Anyway, that's all right. It is what it is. I suppose when we're not getting the $10 a year, I suppose. You know, if you work it back per hectare, it's about, we're doing about 3,600 hectares. You can work that out, whatever that equates to in costs. So we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. There's a bit of stuff we can change, we can replace that would get us through another year anyway. So yeah. Anyway, that's the haircut. We're well on our way. So I reckon a couple of good days at it. I will have to get some more steel from somewhere at some stage. So hopefully, if I can, I've got this field day in the morning, but hopefully the next day or two I might have a fair bit of it here. I've got a bit of 150 box there on the ground that I reckon I'll knock in there for that bottom cord. So that'll just go straight in there. The top bit I'll have to have a look to see whether I've got some of that channel there, but I can't see. There might be a bit kicking around. We'll just have a look. And yeah, I actually bought a new handpiece for the MIG and a new, I don't know what happened here, something got dropped on it. So I was able to get a complete new handpiece because that handpiece has been playing up to for a long time, and I've just put up with it because we haven't been doing much welding, but we've got a bit to do here. So when I was in Shep today, I bought a new handpiece. Give the old welder a bit of a birthday. It's 28 years old, that welder. It's done a lot of work and hasn't given me a lot of grief, so it's good. So anyway, enough of my waffle. Yeah, that'll probably do for this one. And yeah, we'll see what the next video brings. Yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a like, and there's a few new subscribers, which is good. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.